Hi, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Candice and I'm a trauma and mindset coach. And I am here to help you transform your attachment style and create secure, fulfilling relationships. So today we are diving into a question I hear all the time. Why do avoidants suddenly leave? If you've been in a relationship with an avoidant partner and they've unexpectedly pulled away, it can feel confusing, heartbreaking, and even like a personal rejection for an anxious attachment style. But here's the truth: avoidants don't leave because you're not enough. Their behavior is driven by their attachment system and the way that they process their emotions. So let's break down the 5 reasons avoidants suddenly leave, and most importantly, what you can do if you're anxiously attached. So, reason number 1: loss of independence. Avoidants highly value their independence. When a relationship starts to feel too entangled, like when there's pressure to spend every weekend together or plan a future too soon, they can feel really overwhelmed. It's not that they don't care about the relationship or not that they don't want the relationship, it's that they feel like their autonomy is slipping away. And for an avoidant, that can really trigger a flight response in their body, in their nervous system, that causes them to leave. So here's an example. Let's say you're trying to plan every single weekend together. To you, as an anxious attachment style, it feels like connection. You would love to spend every second with them because that makes you feel really reassured. But to them, it feels like suffocation, or it can feel like suffocation to them. The takeaway here is that avoidants leave when they feel their independence is being threatened, not because they don't care or don't want the relationship. So, reason number 2: fear of vulnerability. Emotional closeness can feel overwhelming for avoidants. The deeper the connection gets, the more vulnerable they feel. And sometimes that vulnerability can feel like a trap. I know that doesn't sound very nice, but bear with me. Here's an example. Maybe you're having deep conversations and they suddenly feel like that things are moving too fast. It's not that they don't enjoy these moments, it's that their fear of emotional exposure and vulnerability kicks in. This is their attachment system trying to protect them from what they perceive as a threat, even if the relationship is healthy and loving. And what they want. Reason number 3: they struggle with conflict. Avoidants often avoid addressing emotional conflicts. They might prefer to leave rather than face difficult conversations. And I know that this is so frustrating. Here's an example. Let's say there's a disagreement about something important. Instead of talking it through, they might shut down or exit the relationship entirely to protect themselves. To them, conflict feels like emotional overload. They're not running away from you, they're running away from the discomfort they feel when faced with emotional intensity. And reason number 4: self sabotage. Avoidants often fear rejection, and for some, that fear is so intense that they'd rather leave first than risk being left behind. Yep, they fear you might leave them. And an example of this is they might start looking for signs, real or imagined, that you're going to leave. And they use those signs as justification to exit the relationship themselves. And I know it's so heartbreaking, but it's a defense mechanism. They don't win this way either. They think they're protecting themselves, but really they're sabotaging something that could have been really meaningful. And finally, reason number 5: they have a difficulty expressing their needs. Avoidants often struggle to communicate their boundaries or concerns. Instead of speaking up, they suppress their feelings until they feel completely overwhelmed. And by that point, they might just leave. I know. Example: they might feel like your need for closeness is too much. But instead of telling you this, because they don't want to hurt you, they stay quiet until they reach a breaking point within themselves. And the result is that they leave, not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to handle their emotions in a healthy way. It's not something they've ever known how to do. Even from childhood, they have learned just to suppress their emotions until their emotions unfortunately get too big for them and they don't know how to handle them. So, what do you do if you're anxiously attached? So, here are 4 things you can start doing today that can really help you. So, the first thing is give them space to retain their independence. And I know that this is really difficult for you with an anxious attachment style. Trust me, I get it. I used to have one. Um, but if you respect their need for alone time and encourage their individual activities, when you show that you trust them to have that freedom, they feel less suffocated. It gives them the space that they need, and actually they tend to like come around a lot more, and they come, they're able to give a little bit more because they have that space for that independence. The other thing is encourage open, pressure free communication. Create a safe environment for discussing boundaries. Let them know they can share their needs without feeling judged or pressured. Number 3, like validate their need for space, acknowledge their feelings and let them know it's okay to take space. Reassure them that it doesn't mean the relationship is at risk. And I know that this is, again, really difficult with an anxious attachment style because space will trigger your abandonment wound. So, which is why number 4 is it's really important that you work on your attachment style, and you work on your anxious attachment style, because it will help you to start identifying your own triggers and practice self-soothing techniques and build your confidence in being secure without having to depend on their behavior. So if they need space, you're not really triggered and it really affecting you. You're able to give them the space that they need without it being such a big turmoil on you emotionally and your stability. If you are ready to take that first step, I will leave the link below to my free masterclass, Stop Sabotaging Relationships with Anxiety. It is your perfect first start on your journey. And here is the bottom line: avoidants don't leave because you're not enough. Their behavior is rooted in their own attachment system, not your worth. You can, it is possible to have healing, and healthy communication are possible. With the right tools, you can create secure, aligned relationships, even in the anxious and avoidant dynamic. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs it. Thank you so much for watching.